Hello again and welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're having a magical day. Thank you for taking the time to support the channel. Hello Good Game here, your host within this Magic the Gathering Arena video. It is a season Mythic rank recap. December 2023 has just begun. We have reached Mythic rank, securing a top 100 finish. Today we have two decks to break down, a buttload of statistics, and metagame analysis. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to help support. Kick back, relax, enjoy, and let's get right into it.
It's a new lap record!
Alrighty, here we are. Originally, we did hit rank 78. Of course, this early in the season, there is constant and aggressive slippage as new people are climbing into Mythic and continue through going for that top 10. All right, so with that being said, first we will break down the two decks that I used this season to get through Diamond and then into Mythic. First, it was Gruul Dinosaurs. Playing strictly for fun from one of my favorite decks that we featured in the early access event. Modifying it, tuning it up to be as competitive as possible in the current best of one environment. Dunking on Mono Red with the Hammer Skull. This is a creature that they were unable to get through. Even powering up their Swift Spear as a 6/5, we got to trade with it, stop all of their damage, and continue to play more dinosaurs turn after turn that they would also struggle to get through with a single 1-for-1 interaction, forcing consistent 2-for-1s in our favor. Very nice metagame matchups against not only Mono Red, but also some of the more aggressive decks, looking at you, Domain, that are running Sunfall, because we have the Hatcher in build, a 5-mana 5/3 that gives other dinosaurs haste, as well as creating 2 0/1 eggs. This is 3 bodies for 1 card and 5 mana that affects all of our other creatures, and we'll hatch these eggs by sacrificing them into 3/3 dinos. 5 mana, a 5/3 giving dinos haste, and 2 3/3s. That's really good, right? So getting hit with a Sunfall, saying, no, I actually will be swinging in for 3 damage and potentially even more, as it is quite an explosive deck, potentially even free casting the Hatcher off of a Discover 5. All right, so, that really is the power of dinos. We have plenty of removal coming in to play against the other aggro decks through the Chomp, through the Firstborn, right? Replayability through the Paleontologist, as well as Grave Control, which is great. Ramping up into these heavy 5-drops through the Lorekeeper, through the Paleontologist, through Eyes of Gaia, through even the Hulking Raptor, which is great, allowing us into the Dracosaur, exiling 2 cards off the top, allowing us what is basically a 3-card draw every turn for each Dracosaur to play multiple cards and just snowball our opponents into submission. So that is the Dino deck, of course, using the Cavern of Souls. So we're not really too worried about any counter magic. And the Ridgeline, again, helps us out alongside the Hatcher within those Sunfall matches. So, we're good against the other aggro decks. We're good against the control decks. It is just nice to see. Gruul Dinos. We'll break down the stats for each deck in just a moment. And again, I took Gruul Dinos from Platinum into Diamond, and then from Diamond into Mythic using a Monol Black aggro build, I would call it. Kind of mid-rangey with the average mana value, but playing it as an aggro deck. A 2.9 average mana value here, 24 lands, perfectly balanced at 18 apiece. And if you've been following the channel, you may remember me piloting Monol Black into a top 1 finish long ago. So using that expertise to craft this deck, taking advantage of the current metagame, which is incredibly aggressive, and just doing our best. So through running a non-metagame deck, which we did this season through Gruul Dinosaurs, and even more so, Monol Black. Gruul is a little bit recognizable, but not Monol Black currently. I imagine it will gain some popularity after this, as it performed quite advantageously. This is the one, no doubt. Some of the key synergies within the deck, the Bloodletter. This is going to double your damage output, which is very aggressive. As you probably know, it can stack, which is going to win you almost any game. And we are focused on really front-loading that damage with something like a Lord Skitter. Going wide with the rat tokens is really nice. No longer are they so ignorable, as they're each hitting now for 2 instead of 1. Even smaller things like the Graveyard Trespassers chip damage. When you exile a creature, you get 1 life. They're going to lose 1 life. That's going to be 2 life with the Bloodletter. Nightbound can potentially be 4 life if you get 2 creatures for each Trespasser. Crazy, crazy powerful. Something that you may be unfamiliar with, the Reckoner raid. Just for 1 mana, the Kumano of Black, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life, double triggering, and then it transforms into a 2/2 with Menace. We do not mind. This 1 damage doubling up is actually quite substantial. And what might be the most substantial thing in the deck is the doubling of our Archfiend's damage. Not just the flying 6/6, which would potentially become 12, but its meat hook-like death trigger ability. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, they're going to lose 2 life. And we run a removal-based aggro deck. One of Monol Black's strong suits is its access to destroy-based removal. And that is indeed our focus here within the deck. Applying constant pressure that cannot be ignored while ensuring that we have field advantage. 3 copies of Cut Down, destroying creature with power and toughness 5 or less total. Bitter Triumph, one of my new favorite removal cards, just destroying creature or planeswalker. You'll either have to discard or pay 3 life. We can easily discard the underdog. We can discard, at the end of the day, any creature because we have recursion through the Virtue of Persistence, as well as the Gix command, bringing them back from the graveyard, as well as, of course, our Blitz ability, right? The same thing goes for Lily, discarding there. Her minus ability is the removal we're focused on here. Virtue comes with Lockswain Scorn, -3 onto creature. This is just one of my favorite plays against Mono Red and other aggro decks. Remove one of their creatures while simultaneously gaining life. This is nice and also pairs good with the Bitter Triumph, balancing our life gain with our life loss if need be. Similar, the Gix's command, destroying each creature with power 2 or less. Each opponent sacrifices the greatest powered creature that they control. This should clean up the field for us as well, and a great way to have multiple triggers from our Archfiend of the Dross, which could potentially be an 8/8 now, which might be doubled through, and also doubling other death triggers. And you spend some time with the deck, you'll really understand how important the Bloodletter is to increasing our damage output. You get 1, you're probably going to win. You get 2, you're definitely going to win. The biggest problem I found with the deck was the Shuffler. Believe it or not, can you curve out? We're going to go through the deck and the variants that I played with, the changes. How did it affect our win rate? Because my Shuffler may not be your Shuffler, but it's important that we discuss it so you as an individual can make adjustments, because I don't believe that we're each getting the same seed shuffle and are in the same part of how this is all flowing. I don't understand it, but things change. I know this much. In the deck, currently, 24 lands. We've got a Foundry, we've got a Murex, we've got a Mire. We did go up to 25 for a little bit, so we're going to talk about that in a second. The deck doing really, really good against other aggro decks because we have life gain, because there is so much spot removal. Really doing nicely against the Sunfall decks as well. Now, I'm basically classifying Arena into two deck types. You've got aggro decks, and you've got Sunfall decks. Variations of both, but hey, pretty cool. So it's the Tenacious Underdog's Blitz ability coming in with haste. It's the creature lands that are really helping us apply additional pressure. It's the chip damage, the Trespasser, the Raid. Very, very good. It's the grindability through the recursion from the Virtue of Persistence as well, right? As well as so much front-end oppression, the removal, the discard, the graveyard control that we also have. The draw within the deck through the Sleeper is really nice as well. So this is the one. This is the deck that I use to rank up, hit Mythic, and it's performing the best for me. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the stats. Now, if you're interested in gaining access to these stats full-time, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. All you have to do is support the channel, the Twitch Prime or tiers that are available. It's basically free, as well as the YouTube. It's like $2 Canadian, like 25 cents American or something a month. And then on Patreon as well if you want. I don't really use that a ton anymore. The Twitch and YouTube are the biggest ones. Either way, it's all good though. And then you can link your Discord with that account and your connections, gaining access, and I can show you this, in my personal Discord, available within the Linktree. Google Hello Good Game Linktree, it'll come up. Join the Discord. Once you're in the Discord and you have a connected account, you'll gain access to the VIP chat on our left, if it'll load. And then that's going to give you access to this full time. This is my profile. You get to see each deck as I play it. How did it perform? Days in advance, because, I can't just record and magically have something appear on YouTube. I have to record it. I have to edit it, render it, upload it. I do live in the sticks. My internet's not good. This all takes hours and hours to accomplish. Then it's like the SEO, the thumbnails. It takes days. So you can really gain some early information just simply by supporting the channel. This is the one. 59%. Dinos, 59%. Like I said, I struggled to hit Mythic this season. Still securing a top 100 finish. No problem. I don't think it shows us our top rank here. It should here. Yes, rank 78 is where we get in the season. And then again, there's so many ways to sort. So this sorted by set. Let's go by current season, right? Narrowing this information down. Again, sticking with that 52%. 233 wins, 211 losses for 36 and a half hours. No joke. We were grinding it out. Again, these were our two most successful decks. Let's first talk about some of the decks that didn't make the cut, and then we'll break down our metagame. So first off, top 1200 Booney did not perform, right? It's a known deck. People understand the play lines. Sunfall was racking me, 14-14, didn't work. Then we move in to my friend Goldcalper's Mono Green deck. I could not make it connect, but I was like, that's interesting. Then I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to use my old deck, Mono White Tax, 6-5. Not bad, 55%. Then we move in to our top 1200 Boonies again, 50%, 6-6. Not working. Moving on, we have Rakdos Midrange, can't connect, 33%, 1-2. Moving forward, a new Mono White deck, 33%, 1-2 again here. What is wrong with me? How come I can't rank up this season? And then we move into, I like Big Bunnies, 1-2. I just, like I said, could not connect. And then I say, you know what? I'm going to Mono Red Town. We're going to play a bunch of this, 26 and 22, 54% win rate. A deck that I didn't feel worth mentioning and going through the deck list. There's nothing new here. And it didn't really connect, right? At the end of the day, we didn't make much ground, and I didn't want to play mono red the whole way to Mythic. Moving forward, Rakdos mid-range, we gave it another try, 50%. Why isn't this deck winning? It's filled with bombs. Then it's mono green Augur, a deck that is on my channel. An in-depth deck guide does exist. We went 80%, 4-1. This was odd, but we took it. We allowed it. Then we didn't want to push our luck, so we tried Rakdos midrange again because we think it's the strongest deck, and we get butchered 1-5. Get out of town. Don't even play this game. Moving on, the Booney is not connecting for us either. We are starting to doubt ourselves with a 33% win rate, 1-2. Moving on, well, maybe it's just mono red, and that's just what life is now. 50%, 2-2. Is this my life? I refuse. Maybe mono white life gain will do it. No. 25%, 1-3. What is happening to me? At one point, I believe I even played Domain. Defiler's Day Off. I'm just playing jank at this point, giving up, playing for fun. Rakdos midrange, not working. I just don't want to play this game anymore. My mono green deck now does not connect, going 0-2. Can I go home? I imported a Domain deck. I went 1-2, regaining some confidence, sparking the turnaround, resetting, retesting support through cat counters, crying at what has become a comedy, now giving up and saying, well, you know what? I just want to have fun. This trying to win a match has gone on long enough. I'm just going to play my Dino deck. 59%. Had a blast while we did it. 76-52 climbing all the way in to Diamond from Platinum with relatively consistency. You know, no big waves, little corrections here and there, but a nice increase in our rank all the way into Diamond, which is great. We tried a little bit of mono red once we got there, had a little laugh, some Dino, some... I tried the new Gruul deck with the Picnic Ruiner, and I went 0-5. Good luck to anyone who's getting wins with that deck. You see it here with the Picnic Ruiner, the Swift Spear. Wow, I just could not connect. And then I say, you know what? I think I might just take advantage of this deck, right? I might use removal. So this is what we did. Airbud, the return, focusing on flyers, and then dialing it in, making it as competitive as possible to that Monol Black version that we did see. This is the one going 67-47 with a 59%, which is not great, but we are beating by multiple percentage points the best decks in game right now, right? 59%, we're beating the best deck by 2%, which is not bad. I think that's pretty good. So with that being said, let's take a look at the metagame. The majority of our matches were against mono red. Almost every single game that we played was against mono red. Almost, over 110 matches, in fact, against mono red. We did have 56 coming out ahead of them. There is also a ton of mono white out and about. Again, coming out on top here. A lot of a few soldier decks, and now this is going to utilize them as the both because the color combination, but a lot of flash build as well, which was really competing nicely. Then we get the Esper Tempo. This is all over the place, as well as that new Gruul deck, which slaps. It absolutely dominates. My opponent had the perfect hand every time. I somehow didn't have removal. Then when I played the deck, I can't get, it's just like this game sometimes, right? So it happens. This is the data. This is why I decided, after being punished so hard, to use spot removal and try to start taking advantage and get some of these wins back, because we were not always 8-20. It was pretty grim at one point, right? The Boros Humans, a very formidable deck. Luckily, we do have flying. We can, match or outpace their damage output, which is great, getting us some wins there. And really coming out ahead against the other Monol Black decks as well, which is good to see. These are our top matches. There's an Azorius life gain / planeswalker deck also performing really nice that I liked. The Selesnya Enchantments is still out. Dimir Shenanigans is here. The Bloodletter being copied. It can work sometimes, but it's also a little bit hard to follow through with. Mono Blue Tempo, not really strong enough, but still fairly popular, matching up with it multiple times. And then, to some of the lesser played decks, the Rakdos, Domain, which I thought we would see more of, honestly. We also have a very competitive Jund deck that was good to see. Some Is It Pirates, Mono Green, Selesnya Artifacts, the Bant Control. Didn't see it a lot, but when we ran into it, we had a rough time and were rarely able to overcome it. All right, and then, just all of these are really Domain decks, just in different phases of playing their lands. So, even though it doesn't seem like there's a ton of Domain, there really is accumulatively, as they just have different land bases for their deck. So, that's kind of the metagame breakdown, the decks that stood out for me, of course. And then, like I said, if you're interested in support the channel, join the community Discord, link your account. It's like in your settings, and then connections here. Boom, sign up there, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then you're going to gain access to the supporter chat, the VIP chat. Open up that pinned message, and here is my profile, and you can gain full-time access to this for supporting the channel. So thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this seasonal Mythic breakdown. I just wanted to make sure that you were all aware of the decks that I was playing to reach Mythic. I do like to grind it out early in the season so I can now be creative, building new decks while simultaneously testing them against the best decks and the best players in game. That is my goal, is to compete against the best, and to do so, I need to test against the best. This cannot be done in the lower ranks, right? So I grind to the top so I can showcase original content at the most competitive state that it could possibly be. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed that 36 hours worth of work. Typically it doesn't take us that long. I think I've done it in as little as 11. So that just goes to show how competitive the current format is. More on this in the weekly Arena announcement video, which we just put out, where there were no bans in Standard, and we talked about the diversity and health of the current metagame within Standard, as well as the new format coming to Arena and many other things as well. So I'm having fun. I think that Arena is in a great spot. Cheers. I hope you have a magical day. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, become a YouTube member, join the community Discord, link that account, and gain access to that profile. But most importantly, have an absolute magical day, you ghoul and goblin. We'll see you soon in the next